Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhansa Parivajakacarya Stotat Shit His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhansa Parivajakacarya Stotat Shit His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सदि गौर भक्त वृंद की तुलसी देवी की मायापुर जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की वृंदावन धाम की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna, welcome all of you to Srimad Bhagavatam Friday morning class. So we are reciting from Canto 4, Chapter 3, Text 10. Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Canto 4, Chapter 3 is talks between Lord Shiva and Sati. Four, 3:10. Tatra stava Shri me manubhrata samita matra swarushu klinadhyam cha mataram drakshay shiro kantha mana mahashibhir runyamanam cha mridhavaradvajam tatra sava shrime nanu bhratir samita matra swashri klinadhyam cha mataram Drakshye shirot kantha mana maharishibhi runyamanam cha mridha dhavara dhvajam tatra swashrime nanu bhratir samita matra swarsha klina dhyam cha matram drakshye shirot kantha mana maharishibhi runyamanam cha mridha advaradhvajam. Mana mahashive nam dhavaradhvajam Akshay shirot kanta mana maharishibhi unyamanam chamridhavaradhvajam tatra swasume nanubhata samita atra swashakirna dhyam cha matram Drakshe Shirodkantamana Mahashivir Unniyamanam Chamridavaradhvajam Tatra Swasame Nanubhatra Samita Matra Swarashaklina Diyam Chamatram Drakshe Shirodkantamana Mahashivir Unniyamanam Chamridhavara Trasrasme Nanubhatra Samita Matra Sarashkrina Dhyam Chamatram Drakshe Shirodkantamana Mahashibir Unniyamanam Chamridhavadhvajam. Words meaning? Very nice meter. Thank you. Last two. Tatra, there. Swarashah, own sisters. Me, my. Nanu, surely. Bhrata Sammitaha, along with their husbands. Matra Swarasha, the sisters of my mother. Klinna Dhyam, affectionate. Cha, and. Matram, mother. Drakshye, I shall see. Then Chira Utkantha Manaha, being very anxious for a long time. Maharishibhi, by great sages. Unyamanam, being raised. Cha, and. Mrida, O Shiva. Advara, sacrifice. Dhvajam, flags. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Translation: my sisters, my mother's sisters and their husbands and other affectionate relatives must be assembled there. So if I go, I shall be able to see them, and I shall be able to see the flapping flags and performance of the sacrifice by the great sages. For these reasons, my dear husband, I am very much anxious to go. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. As stated before, the tension between the father-in-law and son-in-law persisted for a considerable time. Sati therefore had not gone to her father's house for a long while. Thus she was very anxious to go to her father's house, particularly because on that occasion her sisters and their husbands and her mother's sisters would be there. As is natural for a woman, she wanted to dress equally to her other sisters and also be accompanied by her husband. She did not, of course, want to go alone. Text 11. Should we read all the shlokas, right? Tvayetad ascharyam ajatmamaya vinirmitam bhati gunatrayatmakam tathapi aham yoshid attatva vichachate Dina drikshe bhavame bhavashitim. Translation and purport only. I don't think words meaning no. Translation. One time? Yeah. So, please recite one time the following shloka. This shloka, this is Tvai etad ascharyam ajatma mayaye. Vinirmitam vai gunataryo trayatmakam. Tatapi aham yoshed atatva vichate. Dina drikshe bhavame bhavashitim. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Translation. This manifested cosmos is a wonderful creation of the interaction of the three modes of material nature or the external energy of the Supreme Lord. This truth is fully known to you. Yet I am a poor woman, and as you know, I am not conversant with the truth. Therefore I wish to see my birthplace once more. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Dakshayani Sati knew very well that her husband Lord Shiva was not very much interested in glaring manifestation of the material world, which is caused by the interaction of the three modes of the nature. Therefore, she addressed her husband as Aja, which refers to one who has transcended the bondage of birth and death, or one who has realized this eternal position. She stated, the illusion of accepting the perverted reflection, the material or cosmic manifestation to be real is not present in you, because you are self-realized. For you, the attraction of social life and the consideration that someone is father, someone is mother, and someone is sister, which are illusory relationships, is already over. But because I am a poor woman, I am not so advanced in transcendental realization. Therefore, naturally, these appear to me as real. Only less intelligent persons accept this perverted reflection of the spiritual world to be real. Those who are under the spell of the external energy accept this manifestation to be fact, whereas those who are advanced in spiritual realization know that this is illusion. Actually, reality is somewhere else in the spiritual world. But as far as I am concerned, Sati said, I do not have much knowledge about self-realization. I am poor because I do not know the actual facts. I am attracted by my birthplace and I want to see it. One who has attraction for his birthplace, for his body, and for the such item mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be like an ass or a cow. Sati might have heard all this many times from her husband, Lord Shiva, but because she was a woman, she still hankered after the same material objects of affection. The word yosit means one who is enjoyed. Therefore, a woman is called yosit. In spiritual advancement, association with yosit is always restricted, because if one is like a play doll in the hands of yosit, then all the spiritual advancement is at one stop. It is said, those who are just like playthings in the hands of woman, yosit krida mrigeshu, cannot make any advancement in spiritual realization. Text 12. Pasya prayantir avavanya yoshito api alankritakanta sakha varuthasaha yasham vrijadvisti kantamanditam Nabo vimane kalaham sapandubhi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Oh translation, oh never born, oh blue throated one. Not only my relatives but also the other women dressed in nice clothes and decorated with ornaments are going there with their husbands and friends. Just see how their flocks of white airplanes have made the entire sky very beautiful. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport. Here Lord Shiva is addressed as Abhava, which means one who is never born. Although generally he is known as Bhava, one who is born. Rudra, Lord Shiva, is actually born from the eyes of Brahma. who is called Swambhu because he is not born of any human being or material creature, but is born directly from the lotus flower which grows from the abdomen of Vishnu. When Lord Shiva is addressed here as Abhava, this may be taken to mean one who has never felt material miseries. Sati wanted to impress upon her husband that even those who were not related to her father were also going, to say nothing of herself who was intimately related with him. Lord Shiva is addressed here as blue-throated because Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison and kept it in his throat, not swallowing it or allowing it to go down to his stomach, and thus his throat became blue. Since then he has been known as Neelakantha or blue-throated. The reasons that Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison was for others' benefit. When the ocean was churned by the demigods and demons, the churning at first produced poison. So because the poisonous ocean might have affected others who were not so advanced, Lord Shiva drank all the ocean water. In other words, he could drink such a great amount of poison for others' benefit, and now since his wife was personally requesting him to go to her father's house, even if he did not wish to give that permission, he should do so out of his great kindness. Text 13. Katham sutaya pitra geha kautukam nisamya deha suravarya nengate anahuta api abhiyanti sohridam bhratur gurur deha kritascha ketanam. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. O best of the demigods, how can the body of a daughter remain undisturbed when she hears that some festive event is taking place in her father's house? Even though you may be considering that I have not been invited, there is no harm if one goes to the house of one's friend, husband, spiritual master, or father without invitation. Somebody has marked this very important line. If one goes to the house of one's friend, husband, spiritual master, or father without invitation. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we go to text 10. It took 15-18 minutes to recite 4 shlokas, and this, very nice, gives a lot of coverage, we can cover a lot of shlokas in one class. So last time also we were discussing about this pastime of Lord Shiva and Sati, which is called Dakshayani. So we were just discussing Prathama Mataji, right? She was talking about the contribution of Srila Prabhupada in that advanced stage, and Kirtaneshwar Prabhuji was summarizing that. See, Prabhupada wanted us to read Srimad Bhagavatam Nityam, and one time Prabhupada was preaching Srimad Bhagavatam every day whenever he used to get time. He's compiled everything. So he said to his all the foreign disciples that don't preach Krishna consciousness philosophy like rules and regulations. See, Srimad Bhagavatam we can understand when we are, in the first canto itself it is said when we are submissive, we ask questions, when we really want to ask questions and we really want to clarify, not for seeing the expertness of the preacher or the guru, whoever. So basically he's talking about sensitivity and all those things, and of course non-envious nature and all those things is given in Canto 1. So Prabhupada was telling that we should preach Krishna consciousness, not black and white. Although we may understand rules and regulations are very important, but we should preach this philosophy like a world view, which will automatically be an enabler for the listeners to follow rules and regulations. It's like this, no? We want to present it in a way that it is palatable, it is sensitive, it covers the broader meaning, not that you do this, why have you not gone there, why have you not kept, why you are eating this, why you are doing this one. Okay, that will automatically, so that is the sensitivity. We will understand that part in greater detail in today's Sati and Lord Shiva's pastime. So one part is, that the sensitiveness. The other part is very important. Another time Srila Prabhupada was asked in the same class that, Prabhupada, do you think there is life apart from the life which we see here? He said, do you think Krishna will waste any place or resource? Of course it is there. We all know from Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Spiritual world is much, much bigger than the material world. And then he elaborated, he said, they see, and this is important for us, how can we relate to this? See, there is an ant, there is a place for ant also. There is a place for caterpillar, if you go to the wood, they live inside the wood, right? Some birds, they make nest in the tree, yeah? There is a place for rat, there is a place for cat, there is a place for everything. So fantastically it is set. So you think Krishna will waste such a big space above us? There is definitely life, and much bigger life there. So what we understand from here is that when the whole process is given like, okay, for you living place is like this, for birds, for plants, for human beings, for all of them, then it means it's a care for resources, isn't it? When we care for resources, when it says in Ishopanishad, right? Ishavasya idam sarvam. Yat kinchete jagatam tena taktena bhunjita ma gridha kaschit swa dhanam. दूसरों का धन देखना ही नहीं है. ये न तेना त्यक्तेना भुंजिता. Whatever is allotted to us, everything animate, inanimate is controlled by the Lord. Whatever is allotted to us, we should respect that. Just like that, Prabhupada was explaining nicely, Krishna has made this for this, this for this. So everybody has quota, right? So we have to see that. Automatically we'll become non-envious, isn't it? Other day, I think I was discussing with Raganuga Prabhuji last week. See, the problem comes when one thing is our day-to-day life, material life. We want to become Adani, Ambani, or whoever we want to become, or maybe near to him or near to somebody. That's one thing. Whether we become, we don't become, that's one point. But the other problem comes when we want to become Adani, Ambani of the spiritual world. Right? So we should now understood now, Adani, Ambani of the spiritual world, we should be very careful. See, there is no problem in thinking in material world to become Adani and Ambani of the material world. There is no problem. Now you may be surprised why I am saying there is no problem. You may become, you may not, we may become, we may not become, right? But what happens, the Adani and Ambani of the spiritual world does a lot of damage. Now it's a point to think. Everybody will think on this, what it can do. So we have all the resources Srila Prabhupada has given. And thus the sensitivity aspect in this pastime and in various other pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam, the other aspect that how we have to preach, what we have to preach, this throws a lot of points here. And Prabhupada has stressed on one thing. If you see the purport, we have read the purport of even the Diti and Kashyap's purport. Read the purports of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. Now reading the purport of Sati and Lord Shiva, lot of consideration is given to the Grihastha life. And also, one thing is very much stressed. One thing is the study of matter, study of the story, matter. The other thing is what matters, isn't it? One thing is, yes, this happened, this happened, this happened. Hey, why this happened? Sati should not have done this in the wrong time. Okay, Brahma should not have gone after his own creation. Daksha should not have done this. Sati should not have done that, or should not have requested this. This is one part of it. But what is that is study of matter, study of the story. But another thing is what matters. इसके पीछे उद्देश्य क्या है, मतलब इसका मीनिंग क्या है, वो भी कोशिश करेंगे आज के श्रीमद् भागवतम में थोड़ा समझने के लिए. So what happens here is everybody is aware of the story or the pastime that so I have done one thing, 3-4 parts I have divided, and from there what are the lessons, the essence, learning from that, right? So Daksha Prajapati arranges one huge sacrifice. In that he invites all the big people. In today's world you can say all the big shots are invited there. So you can consider this also, we were discussing, that this is not just a religious function which Daksha Prajapati was performing, this was also a social function. Very important. Why he behaved like that? It's not a justification that it's a social function, I can behave like that. No. But the background and the lessons for all of us. So the first part is basically Daksha's sacrifice which he is arranging, okay, and Daksha Prajapati and Lord Shiva. The second section, from there we will derive some lessons, is when Sati discusses this matter with Lord Shiva and when she wants to go to father's place, for the second sacrifice. Third section is when Sati reaches there and she feels that she is totally neglected. That's the third part. And the fourth is why this happened, what happened. Okay. So the first part is the Daksha Prajapati is continuing. So since it was not just a religious function, and we have seen many times, if you see even in our functions, in our arrangement, because we are all in a material world, we are doing our activities and everything, there is a sense of ownership. Yes, I did. I called so many people. 1,000 people devotees I made, numbers. I have distributed 10,000 books. I am calling the Indian ambassador. I am calling the Prime Minister. The Vice President came or the President came. This becomes, right? Even a devotee also take this. Yeah, I arranged it. I have been arranging this for 30 years, 20, 25 years, Prabhu. What are you telling me now? I know how to arrange it, right? It is, we keep hearing. We also do this, not only hearing, this is there. So, Daksha Prajapati arranged this sacrifice. He called all the big people, all the sages, demigods, they came there. Everybody got up in the sacrifice. So it was his desire. See, the desire was that I am arranging this for the sake of the universe, for sake of himself also. Now he is proclaiming to get some recognition. That's fine. See, the lesson is you do something for the devotees, for the people in general, But the desire has to be limited by the boundary. This is the first thing. That we have to understand the needs. Somebody is arranging, his need is there. Yes, he wants some recognition, he wants some praise, he wants something. But that has to have some boundary, right? This has to have some boundary. Now, in this case, if you analyze further, Daksha Prajapati had this confusion also in his mind. See, in cosmic terms, everybody knows Lord Shiva is Brahmaji is there, Vishnu and Lord Shiva, right? So there's nothing. He's a great personality in that cosmic hierarchy, But in this case, his daughter Sati was married to Shiva. So there is a family, that relationship is also there, that he is my son-in-law. So one dimension of the relationship is son-in-law, the other dimension of the relationship is cosmic thing, right? This is not a justification, but in pursuing his, the desire to get recognition that, look, I am the one who has arranged this, he crossed the boundary. Although Lord Shiva was just sitting there. Lord Shiva was sitting, closed his, he remained closed only. He didn't speak a word. In the first instance, he didn't speak a word. Sometimes, you see, this is also learning, if somebody is not speaking also is a problem, right? Yes or no? Experienced it or no? At home? Speak problem, don't speak also problem, right? We know. If you don't speak, you want to avoid, that also becomes a big problem. And if you speak, that is also a problem. Lord Shiva did not speak. आप बहुत हंस रहे हो प्रभु, क्या हो गया? So he was not speaking. That became more problem for him, because he is speaking and Samne wala is not speaking, Lord Shiva is not speaking. So it's like, the thing is crossing the boundary. So we should, desire is there, but we should not cross the boundary. Now, one time there is, on this I just remembered, the boundary and the relationship. One devotee, he was initiated and he was just like maybe 25 years old. He got initiated. Then after 2 years his father got initiated. And after 1 or 2 years, or maybe within 6 months, the grandfather was very much impressed. He said, even I want to be in Krishna consciousness. So he got also initiated in due course of time. So while initiating his grandfather, the Guru Maharaj, the Maharaj said to him, the boy, now you two are brothers, spiritual brothers, right? And you are a senior brother. So now you see, you have to understand the limitations, right? Although the grandfather did not understand what is happening, he was 80 years old, 75 years old, he got initiated and everything, but he said, now he is your senior god brother, something like that. So you have to maintain that that one is the cosmic, another one is the personal relationship, son-in-law, whatever it is there. See, these things, I was thinking, now there are 4 things here. Everybody, how they act. Every activity in the morning, from getting up to the point when we go to sleep, 4 factors governs. One is conditioning. With what conditioning we came? Conditioning. Then the circumstances or conditions. Now, conditions, right? One is conditioning, another is condition, third is choices, and the fourth is consequence. Tell me, consequences. Anything which is beyond this, one is conditioning. We all have come with certain conditioning. क्या कंडीशन था जब हम पैदा हुए, उसी पे एस्ट्रोलॉजी भी बनती है, right? The moment, what time it is, this is the time, this is the place, This is this, this is this, this is this, and location, this is the chart. Mithun Lagna, Dhanu Lagna, or Rashi, right? Ho jata. Conditioning comes. What was the condition of the mother? Prahlad Maharaj, wonderful example. Hiranyakashipu went for meditation, the mother was carrying Prahlada Kayadu, right? And then she was listening to Narada. See, the transformation of conditioning, the whole conditioning got transformed completely different, right? He learned the Srimad Bhagavatam inside, Prahlad Maharaj. So one is conditioning, another one is conditions. Now you may have a not good conditioning, like Duryodhan. Duryodhan's conditioning was not good. The mother, when she was carrying Duryodhan, it was, and when he was born also a lot of bad women and everything. So conditioning was not good. What about condition? He had, see, this is important to understand, he had the conditions. Okay, Shakuni was there, Dushasan was there, but he had Bhishma Pitama also, he had Dronacharya, he had Vidur. So see, conditioning bad, but conditions were there also. Conditions will be good, bad, because this is material world, right? Some people will be good, some people will be bad. But the choice, third thing, what he made, everybody knows. He chose Karna, he chose bad conditions and bad companionship, right? So in spite of wrong conditioning, we still have a choice to select right conditions. And what happened? He selected wrong, and the consequences were very bad. This person, why we are discussing? Because see, in Daksha's condition, in the first part where we are learning that we should be limited, our desire is there, fine. But desire has to have a boundary, certain boundary. That boundary will only come depending on these four things, Daksha. There was no conditioning with, as such with Daksha Prajapati, there was no conditioning. Daksha moves with Lord Brahma, when Narsimha Dev pacification, Daksha was also there. Daksha moves with Lord Brahma, all the places. Daksha Prajapati moves with him. So there is no conditioning. Daksha had the conditions. The moment he arranged such a big sacrifice, what happened was that he was a little bit puffed up. Okay, so many people are getting up. And the other thing is, yes, the relationship also. He thought, is my son-in-law, he should get up. So there was this. Then we know, the choice was this. Then what happened? We all know here also the fight happened, and the consequences that he lost his head, right? And many other things happened. That's why in Duryodhan's case, conditioning was bad. He had that condition to select, get the advice of the Bhishma Pitama, get the advice of Vidur, who was constantly advising. Imagine Vidur's conditioning. Conditioning not good. Environment. But conditions, later on, he was like, he selected this, he selected Krishna's association. He learned, right? Choices he made. Consequences, you see. Vidur. Discussion. Vidur. All the discussions going on in Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So this really affects, in a major way. So what is our understanding from the first part of this? That we all have some desires, but the desire has to have certain boundaries. We may have certain insecurities, and because of those insecurities, we have certain behavior, desires and everything, but that has to have some Lakshman Rekha. That's very, very important. In Duryodhan case, we learned what not he did. You see, he did even murder, no? He tried to kill Bhima, then he tried to kill everybody in the Pandava family. He tried to disrobe Draupadi. So which one is bad? Murder is bad or disrobing is bad? More bad. Both are bad. Which is more bad? This is a point to think. Disrobing, because that was done in public. This was also we were discussing, that the murder is one aspect, bad. Disrobing is in the public is very, very bad. So Duryodhan, some people say, got the association of Shakuni and he became bad. ऐसा नहीं है. दुर्योधन बुरा था और बुरा हो गया. दक्ष प्रजापति बुरे नहीं थे. दक्ष प्रजापति बहुत प्यार करते थे अपनी बेटियों को, बहुत लगाव था. He just acted in that spur of the moment. Conditioning, choice, consequences. First part. Second part. So that happens. Lord Shiva didn't speak. He came back. Then after many years, Daksha arranged another sacrifice. And this is where the 10th shloka says that I want to go, Sati wants to go, and it is very natural. Any girl, any daughter, and it is said also, underlined in Srimad Bhagavatam, that if you don't need permission to go to your father's house. You don't need permission to go to your friend's place, even Guru's place also, a spiritual master's place. You can go anytime. So she was very right, but Shiva said, no, you don't go, not because they are not, he said, we are not invited. Okay, that's one part of it, but Lord Shiva knows what's going to happen. So here, the important point is, see, sometimes we consider some rejection, but it is for protection, right? But that is depending on perception. Very commonly we can see with children, right? Don't go, play only this area. It is for this area, don't go out of the house. They will say there's a big place there, but no, the cars are coming, this is normal, right? So we perceive that the car may hit the children or something can happen. That's why we don't allow them to go. So Lord Shiva knew, he said also further that because his anger is against me, he has not invited you also because you are connected with me. This is very important thing Prabhupada explains in the purport. Because the person, you are connected with me, Lord Shiva, Daksha has not invited. In this case, because you are connected with me and he is very frustrated with me, you will not be respected, and it is very dangerous also. Something can happen. Of course, Lord Shiva wanted to protect his wife. Sati thought it in terms of rejection. Why we cannot go in this? See, this similar thing, if you remember in Diti's and Kashyapa's pastime, Diti was considering this wrong time in the evening. Everybody is familiar with, I hope, Diti and Kashyap, right? So this is the time, not the right time. But still she writes, Prabhupada writes in the purport, that in case of emergency, there is no consideration of time and anything. There is that in the purport if you read. So Diti, when initially Kashyapa rejected, Kashyapa said, no, I am in meditation and everything, don't disturb me. But she thought it is rejection, right? Diti thought that Kashyap is rejecting her initially. But if you read the purport again, of course, Prabhupada talks about Kashyap also. He said, no, he's not a man. He also thought that Diti's requirement is of son, so we should fulfill. That is also written in the purport. But if you see, Diti is, by the way, also Daksha's daughter only. So Diti thought it in terms of rejection. But Kashyapa was trying to protect that this is not good. Although what happened, we are not discussing that, everybody knows. Here, protection was there from Lord Shiva, but Sati said, no, I am so much, I want to go. So what we have to understand is that the perception, sometimes what we think is 100% right, we are never 100%. That's why we are in this material world, right? The choice which we will make may not be 100% right, but when a personality like Lord Shiva is guiding, we should not then think that this is something because my husband is hurt. It's not like that. that he is telling me not to go because he is also hurt, he is not invited, the father-in-law has not taken care of him. No. The lesson for us is that the perception by which we think that this is a rejection has to be reconsidered. Think twice. And especially when you are talking to a very, very evolved personality. Forget Lord Shiva, who is on the topmost, this one. So that's the second aspect of the story. Finally she goes, of course she goes. When she reaches to her father's sacrifice arena there, then what happens? This is the third part. So first was that we all have desire, but desire has to have certain limitations, boundary. Just like this is the difference between Sur and Asura, All that it is described, not in chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita. Asuras will not care of any boundary, anything. But divine people, the people of devotees will take care of that. So that's the difference we should always maintain. Second is rejection and protection. We should be very clever in deciphering what is rejection, what is protection, and we should not always go with perception. Maybe our perception is limited by our awareness, Second, same like Diti and Sati here. Third is when she reaches, okay, this is interesting. She managed to go, and Shiva had given all the army, everybody went with Diti to the sacrifice. There you see, she has so many plans, that my sisters are coming, my other sisters are coming, they are all well dressed, everybody will assemble. This is very normal. Prabhupada writes, this is what especially all of us are looking for, and women, they look for more. This is very normal. Oh, we will go in this, we will dress like this. This is what is the Venetian energy, Martian energy, it's there, So she went, and she was very well greeted by mothers, sisters, everybody were normal. But see, she was of course looking for that, but her father even did not acknowledge her presence. See, this is something. Imagine you are going alone. After marriage, all those who are married here, mostly all are married, they will feel, if you go alone, first of all, you will not feel bad unless there is a problem. Your wife is sick, or wife is gone somewhere, or the husband is somewhere else. That's a normal. But if you go alone to any function, it is not considered auspicious. Right? In India. Now, maybe India also changing now. We don't know. This is the Vedic Sanatan culture, right? Now it's different. Now you go where you want to go, I will go, and then we will see in the evening, right? It is the culture now. I was talking to one of my friend only. He said, Pawan, nowadays it's marriages, I will cook one day. When are you, who will reach first in the evening will start cooking. At least this is better than eating outside, right? Eating outside daily, but the contract, you will reach first, 5:30 in the evening, start chopping, start putting something on the gas, then I will come, I will join you. So this is set. If not eating outside, at home, this will be there. Weekend, you have to help me. So this is all things there. But in general, it was not considered for husband, for a man to go alone, or for a woman to go alone. So they used to, so imagine here, she came, she tried to convince Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva said, no, you go. She came here without her husband, expecting that there will be, in fact, if somebody comes like that in the family, she should be respected, she should be greeted more, she should be asked also what happened, this one. Nothing of that sort happened, and even father is not speaking to her also. So what a vulnerable position it is, right? Imagine, this is such a, and not recognizing her presence is worst. Not speaking, not recognizing her presence. So she is in a very, very vulnerable position. that we talked about in the beginning, sensitivity. Where is the sensitivity here? So we should understand that anybody, all of us, can be in a vulnerable position at any moment, And vulnerable position is very different than our weaknesses. It's like, you don't reveal. This thing nobody will reveal. She will reveal only to mother or father, right? And this is to be understood. But Daksha Prajapati now, who used to love her daughters like anything, he did not even recognize her presence. Completely vulnerable. We saw in Bhagavad Gita Krishna's, Arjuna's condition also, right? He was shivering. And Krishna is saying, by talking big, big words, you are mourning for that which is not worthy of lamenting. Asochan va anavasochanscha pragya vadamsha bhasase. Gatasun agatasun nanu sochanti pandita. That is there in chapter 2. By speaking learned words, you are mourning for that which is not worthy of discussing or mourning or whatever you can say. Arjun gives a lot of reasons, I will not fight. He said, no, I don't want to fight. He says, by this adharma vivad, if I fight, then the ladies will go without husband, then there will be varna sanskar. So many reasons he gives. What I will do with this. He was in a vulnerable position, but he had Krishna. Krishna understood that. See, beautifully, he is talking about the bodily relationship, which Krishna acknowledged. It is very important. But then Krishna changed the level. It is said, no, questions at one level cannot be solved at that level. ये हर एक आदमी ने अपने लाइफ में देखा होगा, तू मैं करके कोई भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं होता है लाइफ में, उसी में हम रह जाते हैं. तुमने ये कहा, रहे तुमने भी तो यही कहा ना, अभी क्या हो गया, चलो छोड़ो, नहीं तुमने ऐसा क्यों कहा, ये बट कृष्णा से अपने को समझ में आता है, राइट? You are attached to the body, I accept. There is a bodily connection which will happen. We all are attached to the bodies, and there will be pain. When the body is gone, there will be pain. But he changed the level. You are not the body. Dehino ismin yatha dehe komaram yaunam jara tata dehantar praptir dhiras tatra na mohyati. अब देखो कितना बड़ा श्लोक है ये, 2.13 में आ जाता है. अपने को समझ में ही नहीं आया, अभी भी समझ में नहीं आते. इतना बड़ा श्लोक आपको चैप्टर 2 के 13th श्लोक में मिल जाता है. बट व्हाट ही डिड कृष्णा, दैट इज टू बी, वेदर वी अंडरस्टैंड वी आर द बॉडी और नॉट, और वी आर द सोल, बट ही चेंज्ड द डिस्कशन टू second level. You are not the body or the soul. Then he went on explaining Srimad Bhagavad Gita, addressed his vulnerability, but here Daksha did not do. So the lesson is, in such condition, whoever comes to us, whether in our relationship, friendship, temple, office, business, anywhere, this is important. Then only people will discuss with us, when we address the vulnerable position. Third, then what happens? Daksha Prajapati, nothing he is doing. Then she sat, and everybody knows when in those times when somebody is sitting like this means what is the meaning? She is going to end her body, right? Even that also Daksha did not stop. See, the desire, the insecurity, and those things can cross which boundary we can imagine now. That also the daughter is going to sacrifice her life. Fourth point comes, so we discuss first, understand that desire has a limitation, rejection, protection. Third is vulnerability. The fourth is from here, and this is for all, for us, okay? Not for the great characters of Srimad Bhagavatam. As we said in the morning, this is the matter, story. But what is important is what matters. That is for us. So, he was seeing, Sati was sitting here like this, ready to self-immolate or whatever we may call, leave the body. Right. Then, see, the very important point of what Lord Shiva made, that comes, the frame of reference. And this is also very important for all of us. It's not that Daksha did not care for Sati, how she grew, she did everything for Sati, right? But as long as his frame of reference, my God, this, from daughter it became this lady. You can imagine, it's not there, but you can imagine, right? This lady is connected to Lord Shiva. And I have a problem with Lord Shiva. Or Lord Shiva has, he has not respected me. So the frame of looking at the daughter was through Lord Shiva. So he did not stop her. He did not acknowledge her. He did not stop her from giving up the life also. So frame of reference, how many times this happens to us? Many times. Frame of reference is very important. I don't like this because he, his friend said something and he talks to him regularly. So I don't like him also. अरे उसने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं, मैंने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं, नहीं? Because you are connected with him. That temple has this problem, and whoever goes there, no, you go to that temple, no, I come here. What is this? You understand the point? Frame of reference. So frame of reference should converge. For example, see, Prahlad Maharaj got everything. His frame of reference was that everything is devotional. Do anything to Prahlad, he will come out. Throw him from the mountain, burn him, do anything, he will bring Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, all that thing he will bring, right? His frame of reference is there. By the way, Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu gives wonderful philosophy. If you read that section, he is giving like with a Yamaraj boy comes and then he gives, what is this? He tells mother, Diti only, right? Yes. Hiranyakashipu is the son of Diti. Right, no? Hiranyaksha, exactly. So he gives wonderful philosophical instruction. Hiranyakashipu, he's from a demonic family, but he is speaking, and then his frame of reference is this. So here what we see, demon, but the son is such a great devotee, the frame of reference not converging only. But when Parikshit Maharaj was cursed, he took it, like, okay, this is he has cursed me, I will take it as a blessing and I will concentrate on Srimad Bhagavatam. One frame of reference is this, right? Other frame of reference is suggested by the Brahmana, like that, you can counterbalance this one. So, but here he took the much bigger concept of that. No, I will focus now on this. So what we understand from the last part of when the Sati is about to give up her life, that her father could not converse the frame of reference, like he was still thinking about Lord Shiva, who did not get up in the first section of this pastime. And Lord Shiva said, in the purport, Prabhupada writes, Lord Shiva said, I am not allowing you, I am suggesting you not to go because he will not respect you, he will not welcome you, and it may be dangerous for you because he thinks you not as a daughter, he will consider me first, connection with you, since you are connected, he will not, Daksha will not respect you. So this is the fourth section. Of course, then fight happens, she gives up her life, then he gets head is beheaded, then Lord Brahma, so many things happens then, it is coming. But broadly today, we wanted to derive some inspiration, some lessons from this pastime. So first we understood from the first part, we have to limit. Everybody has desire, no problem, but desire has to have a boundary, okay? We are governed by circumstances, conditionings, choices, and consequence is very important. Every activity we can analyze that we do with conditioning, we do with conditions, but that's choice is there, and then we face the consequences. Then we had when she was pleading with the Lord Shiva that she wants to go, so rejection and protection point of view, so we should also understand. And the third is, of course, anybody coming, we should also understand in terms of the person's vulnerable position. We should not address publicly, we should address it in a privately, in a very proper, sensitive manner. And the last thing is, maybe we'll have a different frame of reference, but our frame of reference should converge. After all, she was a very dear daughter of Daksha, right? So it should have been converged. But whatever happens, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, this is important. We are saying should happen this, we are learning, this is for us. This has happened there, that's what very important. This is the story, and we have to take what matters. These are the things which matters to us. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any clarification? Otherwise 9 o'clock is already there. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Checkpoints. See, this is briefly, I said this, even sati. Your question is, basically the question is that if there is a boundary, so sometimes we cross the boundary, right? Like sati, she was advised that there is an element of danger in going there, and protection was there from Lord Shiva. She was guiding her, but still she went, right? So this is a beauty. This is what the free will, this is the beauty of our scriptures. And come back to the same thing. Conditioning, conditions, choices, consequences. Right. अभी इस रूम में there are certain things which may be in your way, and certain things are there which will not affect. For example, if I am focused on something, I will not bother what light was on, or something light was not functioning, this was not, I will not be bothered about that, because I am bothered about something else, right? There are so many things not right, and there are so many things which are right here, right? So Lord Shiva, imagine, we are talking of Lord Shiva, who will say and gives the free will. So that even the scripture also, these are the things, these are the things, these are the things. Now based on our circumstances, our conditions, what choice I take, I have to suffer. Now how sati is not somebody like, okay, like a child. Child, you can pick up the child and put the child on your lap, okay? Or they may cry also, but still it's fine, okay, cry but don't go there. But she is not a child, right? Same thing, if you read purport, how can you control? Purport is there, you read third canto, part 1, Diti is a thing, she is much grown up, this Kashyapa is meditating, and then she is saying no, and there is a justification also. In the time of emergency, there is no rule, no regulation. But I thought that that's there for the heavenly world. But it's written for this world also. If it is an emergency, no problem, you can break the rules. Now, Of course, there is must be description how, when to break the rules and all those things. But your point, how to ensure that we don't cross the Lakshman Rekha, this is there, right? This is, see, this for us, and if I have to consider this, that I don't cross the Lakshman Rekha in my pursuit of desires and everything, that we have to be constantly be in the mode or get the inspiration from the scripture. See, if you are thinking, if there is certain things that I have already crossed, everybody crosses. Tell me one who has not crossed. Everybody crosses certain things, right? Then they say, no, this is not right. Come back. Why? Because we are connected. We've been doing. Even if we come here 20, 25, 30 years and understand only 5%, but that will help. This is 100, 200% there. You don't do anything, but you are connected with scriptures, connected with devotees, do some agarbatti, whatever you may call, okay? Do this at home or here or this, or listen to some lectures, listen to somebody. The world may fall, somebody will fall down, somebody will go there. But if you continue as per your circumstances, don't become Adani and Ambani of spiritual world, okay? If you continue to do that, it will help. You will not cross. Or even if you cross, you will come back. Immediately you will come back. 100%. Or you will realize, oh, ये क्या गलती हो गई यार अपने से. नहीं, ये नहीं करना है, इधर आ जाना है. तो ये नहीं होगा. The moment if you are not connected, see, if you are not connected, your friendship is with somebody who is doing all sort of things, you are also there. You are there 5% time with them, maybe, okay, or 10% time, but 90% of the time you are with this, your work with this, done. Depending on the level where you are. Prabhupada went with all the hippies only. Prabhupada, when he went, 95, 99% were like that. All reject people. If you have to consider that way, the reject mal came there in the beginning. But they became such a spiritual gurus now. How? So the tendency to cross can be minimized if you are connected with devotees, with the well-wishers, with the scriptures, even with little bit of study. Start with Srimad Bhagavad Gita is such a powerful thing, you know. Meditate on one shloka, chew that shloka, discuss with your friends who are not even interested. You will make them interested. If you break down the shlokas into 1, 2, 3 parts, no, it is so interesting. Very, very interesting. So come, have prasadam, discuss few things, and this will continue. We will never cross it. This is 100% proven. Yes, Prabhuji. So you are saying that she was carried away by the love of father, in a way?
Neglected the real authority where she was supposed to go.
See, if you see this angle, this is just 2-3 minutes more. Huh?
Sati.
See, this is real life. How many, a wife, very important. If wife is questioning husband, remember, it is a blessing for husband. It's a blessing because right question, no, some are, I'm not saying, it has to be the right questions. It should be right checkpoint. If they are not questioning, if they are not checking, then you are not fortunate. You are fortunate, the Prabhus are only fortunate, this is my experience. If you are not लगाम लगाते ना थोड़ा, right? नहीं तो घूमते रहो इधर जाओ, from here, yes ना प्रभु जी? Experience से बोल रहा हूँ. So this is important. Now, in this case, every wife I can tell you, they will fight with the husband to go to father's place in a normal situation, unless the father is crazy. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it can happen, you know. Nowadays, more cases. But, right, no? Every wife will fight with the husband to go to father's and mother's place, even if they fight with the father also, or fight with the sister also, but they will fight. These are all basic things. So she will go. She will go, and such a big function which will attract her. My sisters are coming this. Now in this case, the authority also changes, na Prabhuji? Going to father's place, she doesn't need, as the scripture says. So authority will be, no, you are stopping me. See, you are trying to protect me, but you are stopping me from going because there is some case happened the first time. But imagine the other thing. If that would have happened with Shiva's friend, let's say, Lord, I'm imagining, Lord Shiva's somebody who is on that level, of course, not with Lord Vishnu, and not with that, but on that level, then she definitely would have heard Shiva's opinion. This is how I can extend. You got what I'm saying? In father's case, no lady or no wife will consider, unless and until the father is very, very gone case, like that. There is an attachment to that. But if somebody else is there, definitely she would have taken Lord Shiva's protection, and she would have carried with that. This is how I am taking this one. Maybe you can add it in a different way or something.
Maybe the Lakshman Rekha, what is the question, what is the deciding point, right? That when the situation comes to us, what is the deciding point? That how we should take a decision. So the decision, you said Shastra, they're all fine, it's excellent.
It's an emotional decision.
Yeah. But it's an emotional decision means, if you upset your husband, then what will be a future life? Even if it please your father.
Yeah. It's a choice.
Yeah, her further life will be not so pleasant.
Correct.
The moment she breaks, because she is supposed to be along with her husband all the way.
Yeah.
But she already left the father. So that part may not be so important there, pleasing the husband.
But there she fought for the husband.
Not her case, it's a scenario.
Scenario, she went there,
Yeah.
she fought for the husband. Whereas there is no offering for my husband. What is this? She became double angry, and she said, there is everything for everybody now. Where is Lord Shiva's offering? There is nothing. I will now sell. So the thing which she should have done, she fought there, but she is fighting for Lord Shiva here. And even if she came out of sentiments, out of emotions, Prabhupada says sentiments are the ornaments for the devotees. Actually, he writes several places, he preaches also. If a person is, for example, if I am doing Krishna consciousness and I am detached, so who will like me? Somebody will like a detached person? You tell me. I am very, very advanced, but I am detached. So for what you are here in this life? Go and sit in the some temple or this, right? So it shows, it's a lesson for us. Like, okay, the emotions are important because these are the ornaments. But again, choice is there, and she suffered for that one. I think we can. Yes, and today 15 minutes extra also. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. In fact, we should have discussion like this so that we get more understanding.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So the one point is that the lagan, what do you call the lagan, Prabhu? Yeah, lagan. Lagan, okay. That should be for moving ahead, not for keeping in one place. So that's what we need to say that. So thank Prabhu's class we have taken, there are so many lessons that we should have that desire. So what we can relate, how Prabhu said that what matters us. So the matters us is that how this jiva has come to this world. Just I was referring to this, what Prabhu said that this jivas, they had a lot of desires, enjoy away from Krishna, so that is going away from the limitations. So that's why we came here with such a conditioning that we have been conditioned by these three modes, and then with that conditions, there are so many choices are there. There are outside, but there are temple is there. So we take the choice of coming into the temple, then we have the consequence of getting the Krishna Prem. Hare Krishna. So in this vulnerable condition also, we have our frame of reference. That reference is our Shastras and scriptures with our Guru and all our devotees. So take up this chance, take a good choice, come up with good consequences. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Today the Bhoga to the Lordship in the morning, it was offered by Narendra Jade Prabhuji and Ranjana Mataji and Bhakt Rudra and Bhaktin Trisha, seeking blessings from the Lordships and devotees, and also by Hinal Bhavan Ruparel Prabhu and family for the pleasure of the Lordships, co-sponsored by His Grace Sudarsandari Vasudeva Prabhu on the occasion of Mother's Prafulla Ravindra Ballal's third Remembrance Day. Haribol. And also by devotees on completing the Chaitanya Charitamrita book reading, seeking blessings from the Lordships, and Rajeshwara Sri Haridas Prabhu and family seeking blessings, and also by Arushi Apurva, daughter of Achit Giridhari Prabhu, and Rajarani Kirtida Mataji seeking blessings. And today evening Bhoga to the Lordship will be again sponsored by Hinal Bhaven Rupiral Prabhu and family, and co-sponsored by R. Munechandran Prabhu and Krishnabal Mataji, Monisha Meena for the pleasure. Hare Krishna.